Damn, I'm already out of sweet tea. I just went down there.
I can't believe I went down there and forgot what I went down there for.
I went down there and pissed, and I came back up and I was like, shit.
You went all the way downstairs to piss.
Well, I was like, I'm already down here. I might as well piss. What did we call it? Unscripted? Is that what it was? Yeah.
Welcome back. Not welcome back. This is going to be like...
Yeah.
We're going to say welcome back, but it's been like several months.
Yeah, we're pretty much starting over.
Yeah. But this is our podcast, Unscripted. The title is pretty much what we're doing. It's very unscripted. I mean, I guess we kind of get a gist of what we're going to talk about at the beginning, and then we just kind of roll with it. But
yeah, we did a quick 30-second brainstorm.
Yeah. Just because we don't want to get on here and be like, yeah. But we've had a lot of stuff happen between the last podcast and now. Some big things.
A lot of big things.
Hopefully it'll continue to become even bigger, we're hoping.
Yeah, we are moving into a new apartment again. That's a frequent thing. I think we've done 4 podcast episodes in like 2 different apartments, but now we're about to do like our 5th one in a 3rd apartment.
Yeah. So we can talk about that.
Or actually 3. This will be the 4th one because we did one at my old place. And
Yeah.
then paper mill, and then here.
Yep.
4
Yep.
places.
So this place we live at now, like, I wouldn't say they necessarily screwed us, but they kind of did.
Yeah.
We did kind of screw ourselves because we didn't sign faster, but
We signed. We inquired in April, and apparently the cutoff was February.
yeah.
The way the email sounded was that you couldn't sign anything, period, till February. And my girlfriend's also signing here, and they wouldn't let her sign anything till February, so I just kind of assumed that's what the deal was. But
Yeah.
up until February was for people to re-sign.
Right. And so what happened was, I think the last podcast we went over all about the whole old apartment, why we moved here and stuff.
We did.
So all that went down and we moved here. And when we moved in, we were like, hey, we plan on re-signing to have this apartment that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure they just agreed. They were like, yeah, sure, that's cool.
Yeah, we made them well aware.
When the time comes, then it'll come. And so February comes around, it was like February. We were like, okay, we actually need to like do this and go ahead and re-sign.
Yeah, we've had a lot of roommates in line too. We were waiting on a definite one, and it kind of never happened. So we were like, let's just re-sign anyways before we lose an apartment altogether, and then try to find somebody. And so that was why we kind of waited.
Yeah, and so we waited, and we like called them. We're like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and re-sign for the apartment. And they're like, well, we have somebody already signed for your apartment, for this apartment. And we were like, well, so can we have another one? Or
yeah, I was like, can we, so how many 3 bedrooms do you have left? And they said 13 of the same style.
Yeah.
Same exact layout. And I was like, well, can you wide out the number on the lease for them?
Yeah.
Or can you just print out another one, make them sign it a couple times? It's only like 2. It's like 10 spaces to initial. It's really not that much.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we can't do that either. Once it's assigned, it's assigned. And I was like, but we're already in here.
Yeah.
So
What didn't make sense to me was like why they couldn't just move somebody that had signed for an apartment that isn't moved into an apartment, have them sign for another apartment. It just didn't make sense.
It's the exact same layout. We're moving 100 yards to get the exact same apartment.
Yeah.
Everything will probably look the same.
Yeah. Literally, there's like one difference, and it's like
an extra window.
Yeah. Like, y'all have seen my setup. The camera here is on my setup, just turned the other way. And there will be a window at my back, and that's literally it.
Yeah, so it might be a little bit different, but that's about it.
Like,
but we also are getting a random roommate now.
We are. What was his? Stanley. Something Stanley. Ben Stanley is his name.
He's going to be moving in with us next year. When we texted him, he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
But we're going to meet him in July, so we move in August. See how that goes. Maybe we'll get him on the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe he might be down for that. I don't know. Yeah. We don't know. We haven't really.
We know absolutely nothing about him.
Yeah. hopefully he's a cool guy. I didn't ask him like when he's moving in. Like, is he moving in the same day we are, or?
I didn't ask him that either. He said he's got an apartment over on campus.
He said Forest something. I don't know.
And he's so now he's gonna be back from his mom's house in mid-July back to that place. And so that's why I told him he could come hang out with us and kind of get to know him and see what all he needs to bring.
Yeah.
What's up there?
My camera on my phone is like falling out right now, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, you got a new one coming.
Yeah, actually it's coming tomorrow. It's coming in the mail tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, got a new phone coming. Oh well, the camera's literally like falling out.
Anyway. To the real news.
Yeah.
Enough about our lives. Well, actually, more about our lives, but stuff you actually want to hear about. Arden is a part of a professional gaming organization now.
Yeah. Midnight Esports. I had been the story behind it all was like I had been following this team for quite a while.
I can attest to that.
They were originally like they called themselves like Midnight Gaming was what it originally was, and they had like if anybody follows the Call of Duty scene, you'll know who I'm talking about. They had this guy named Phantoms and Profizi. They're still they're pros right now, so they've already made their come up.
Yeah, a little side note, my brother that came into town a couple days ago, he asked me about like Call of Duty and stuff and we could play together. I was like, well, actually, if you're really big into it, my roommate is a part of an organization. He was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know if you've heard of Midnight Gaming. And he was like, no way. So it's like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And because he was like, I was just expecting a team like, on the come up that I'd never really heard of before. Right. And I was like, yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And so they had like those two guys and some other, I don't remember the other two, but during the game World War II, during that season, and they were just considered amateurs, but they were really good. They were kind of the top of the amateur scene. And this year in Black Ops 4, they had a team to begin with, and they almost won the very first event. It was Vegas, the amateur event, because the way Call of Duty works is you have the pros. I mean, I guess it's kind of like baseball. You have like the MLBs, your pros, obviously, and then you have like all your minor leagues. But there's technically only one minor league. So each tournament you go to, there's the pro league tournament, and then there's the amateur tournament. The amateur tournament, there's like 200 teams that compete in this tournament. Like you play a lot of games.
Do you have to get an invite to that, or
no? You like if me and you got 3 other friends, we could pay an amount and go play. Yeah.
There's no limit to the amount of teams they put in.
I think there is a limit. You just have to it's like first
count.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had a pretty good team, and I want to say they got like top 16 or something like that in the amateur tournament with the first team they had in Black Ops 4. And that was when I was telling you and Dean when I was watching the Vegas tournament. I was like, you got to watch this team Midnight. They're really good. And I'd been following them for a while. And after that event, they recruited a new team, and I think this was the original squad. Like if you're from the Call of Duty scene, you know who I'm talking about, with Parzalian, Brack, and Jet Li, and that squad. You know who I'm talking about. And they recruited that whole team, and if you placed top 16 in that first tournament, you got to play in this Pro League qualifier. So what it is the top 4 teams in the actual Pro League like tournament already qualified, and they were considered pros. And in this qualifier, you qualify to be in the Pro League to be considered a pro. So they went through for short, I'm going to call it the PLQ because that's what it's called. They went through the qualifier and ended up qualifying, and they beat every single team they played. They went 6-0. They didn't lose a match. And I was like, holy shit, this team's like really good. And after the qualifier, I was like, you know what? I'm just kind of curious. I've like followed them for a long time, and I messaged the owner. His name's Kenny. He's freaking awesome, dude. I messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, I've been following y'all for a long time, and I just named a bunch of random facts to prove that I had been following them, and I'm not just a bandwagon because they went 6-0 and they're an up and coming, you know what I mean."
Yeah, I remember living at my place last year. Arden would send me stuff about them. He emailed them a long time ago. It was let me join this organization. I would like to get some, I would like to help out, and both of us kind of grow together.
Yeah, I emailed them, and I never heard anything back about the email. I still to this day don't know if they got that email. But I ended up DMing the owner, and I was like, "Hey, I've been following y'all a long time. I love what you're doing. I would love to be a part of this group and grow." And he literally DM'd me back within 15 minutes and was like, "Dude, I'd love to have you. How about you be our first content creator?" And I was like, "Sign me up."
Yeah.
Because I didn't think it was going to happen, just because I was going to do it earlier, while they were still considered amateurs, and they weren't really big. And I figured after the qualifier, I was like, they're considered a pro team now. There's no way, because there's probably tons of people hitting them up being like, hey, I need, let me on the team. I figured there'd be tons of people doing that because they're getting relevant pretty much. And he was like, yeah, I'm totally down. I mean, it may have been, but
yeah, so that's been Arden's life now.
Yeah.
Big stream, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've seen some pretty good growth in it since I've joined. Not so much now. It's kind of slowed down a little bit just because they got rid of the old team and they're not as good, so they're not growing as much. They're not getting that many fans because they're not winning. But I've seen some growth. I've met some great people. There's more content creators now that I've met and kind of hung out with in the online world. And yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, it's a good way to get connected for sure.
Yeah,
kind of speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I didn't imagine it would ever, I didn't think it would even be possible, really.
Yeah.
I did
You've been doing it for 3 years now.
Yeah, I've been doing it a while.
Something's bound to happen if you just keep at it long enough.
Yeah.
But, now I've made endeavors into the YouTube world.
Yeah.
That's been interesting for the last 10 days.
It's been more like a year, but
kind of. Yeah,
it was
I deleted those.
It was I'm going to release a video May 2017. Here's my next video of June 2018.
Yeah. And then, actually, I guess I'll start off with that. I've been doing music since my freshman year of college, which was fall of 2016. So I remember being in your basement and telling you about it when I was like, dude, I want to get the studio software and this big, it's called a machine. It's that's what it's called. It's spelled MASCHINE.
Yeah.
And, also called an MK2 Pro or something like that. It's a big sampling pad, pretty much, with all the drum pads and stuff. I remember seeing it for $650, and I was like, dude, I need this. I remember telling all y'all this is what I want to do. And that was when I got really big into Travis Scott after he dropped Birds and the Trap Sing McKnight. So it was I don't know, I could just see myself doing it. And then I got into it. And it was super hard, way harder than I thought. It was trash. If you ever seen that meme on Twitter, you need to put that meme in this video. That meme on Twitter where it's when your boyfriend starts making beats on GarageBand and you act like they're good. And it's that video of Timbaland just doing this and it sounds terrible. That was actually me, trying to show y'all.
I still have, I want to say it was your first beat that you released. I think I still have it on my computer.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called. Was it called Church?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And it had two weird melodies in the same one. It was the that one.
It sounded like a freaking circus.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I remember putting that out, being like, this is decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But no, now, like...
I'm just glad you gave it a shot at least. You just at least
Yeah,
put something.
It was really it is really nerve-wracking to put something out for the first time.
Yeah.
Like I haven't put out a song. I don't know that I ever won't, because I do enjoy doing it. I just never, like, figured out a good way to edit my voice enough to feel comfortable to get it out there.
Yeah.
I'm using this microphone. I feel like I need, like, a studio quality one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like you've heard a couple, like, unreleased songs.
Yeah.
That will never see the light of day, like, from, like, 2 years ago.
50,000 views, I'll release one of them.
If you get 50,000 views and I get 50,000 views, I'll let you drop it.
All right. Deal.
Maybe if we get to that point, I'll drop it and be like, let me show you how far I came. But, yeah, no, I remember, like, being like, Arden, dude, you gotta hear this. And then once I started playing it, I was like, this ain't it. Like, no, this ain't it. And, yeah, no, I got a big setup in my room now. You know, it started out with just the pad. I was literally, like, just in the living room, my laptop right here, the pad, like, on my lap, just, like, trying to, like, figure everything out. And now, just the last 3 years, it's crazy. Like, because I haven't even been religious with it. Like, I did it hardcore for, like, 3 months when I first got it. I got discouraged because, like, this stuff's really hard. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I told myself I needed more equipment. And then I got more equipment, like the monitors and the computer build and stuff, and it was like, yeah, but now I don't have FL Studio. And then I got FL Studio, and that's when I released, like, another beat, because that really did make a big difference. That would be my number one tip.
Which one was that?
FL Studio is that software.
No, not FL. The
beat?
Yeah.
That one was... It was the 21 Savage one, the Run It Up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was the first one I had made on there. And this was like last November when I got it around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's my number one tip to producers. That FL Studio, if you seriously want to get into it or give it a dabble, it's $300, but it is totally worth it. All the plugins, everything, it's good to go from the jump. But it's yeah. And then once I did that, I made a couple, and I got really good hits on it. But I think what really got me in it now. Just going in and out, back and forth, and watching YouTube, like a ton of YouTube videos, and all the growth that I've made now is really keeping me, like, in it. Now that I can actually make beats and you know, feel confident.
Yeah. And see, I kept telling him, I was like, because ever since you started this, I was like, okay, you just need to keep doing it, and you'll get better, and you'll see growth. And then once it's the same thing if you go to the gym. Yeah. All the time. If you go to the gym all the time, you start seeing some growth, you want to continue to do it.
Yeah.
It's just like this. Like, you see a little growth, and you're like, oh man, the next one I release is going to be even better, and I'm going to see even more growth. And it's like an addicting feeling.
Yeah.
And that's what I kept saying. I was like, you need to just do it. You need to just do it. And, like, just continue to do it, and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then, like, at our place on Paper Mill, I was like, I didn't have the room size to put my setup where I wanted, so I was like, yeah, I'm just not even going to fool with it. But luckily we didn't. We only stayed there a couple months, and then we came here, and I really, tried to set it up and get into it. But I would say that now I'm really happy that I've stuck with it, and I'm definitely gonna keep putting out a ton of videos because, like you said, it is an addicting feeling. I think in the last 10 days since I've posted 4 beats in the last 10 days. I think I'm at a total of like 800 views, and I've gained like 15 subscribers. I mean, that's a good start, I think.
Yeah, it's a good chunk from where you were at.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, we'll see where it goes from here. Hopefully by the next podcast, I'll have a lot more updates.
Yeah. Same for me, but
the biggest thing, I kind of remember what I was going to say now. The biggest thing, this is the last thing I'll say about that, but the biggest thing was when I sold one, that Run It Up, 21 Savage type beat I was talking about. I had to message me and be like, yo, I love this. Like, let me have it. And I was like, how much, like, I didn't know what to ask for because I'd never had anybody ask me that. So I was like, $50 and you can have it, like, exclusive.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, sure. Didn't even negotiate. And I was like, should I ask for more? Like, next time? But, once I got that, I was kind of like, like,
this could go somewhere.
There's a market for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's going to buy it, I guarantee there's 100 other people that are going to buy it. It's got to find them.
Yeah. And that's what I kept saying. I was like, once you hit you hit a spot to where you want to continue to do it. Like when I started doing like streaming and making videos and stuff, I kind of got down for a long time.
Yeah.
And then all this stuff with Midnight started happening, and I was like, oh man, I could get somewhere with this. And recently I've been doing a lot more streaming and a lot more videos. I've been like streaming, and then after I stream, I immediately pull up the whole stream, and I'll go through it, like stay up till 3 trying to find a video or like a clip or something in the stream that I just streamed for 4 hours. And like you hit a spot and you're like, okay, I need to continue to do something because it eventually works out.
Yeah, and then like doing some stuff for some artists around here, like it's like doing that feeling, and then like I helped them record a couple things. It never came to anything, but I learned a lot through the process. And then he came back to me with a couple songs they wanted to get mastered for his project, and I was like, like that in that session we got a lot done. We got all 3 songs done that night, like an hour a song, and everything sounded good. And it was just like, okay, if I can do that for somebody and make somebody that happy, now it's like, I guess now I'm starting to see like a business side of it. Like, I love it. I love doing it, and I listen to music 24/7. That's why I got started. But now it's like, now there's some kind of goal out there.
Yeah. See, now I think that you've learned a little bit of it, and you're seeing some growth. I think you need to get more growth in it, like more subscribers, more people watching you and listening, and then like try to sell and try to do more artist work and stuff like that.
So I've got a beat store right now, and it's on this app called BeatStars, but it's like I've got 150 followers already, and I made it like 7 days ago, but they're all other producers, so it's like they're not gonna buy it. Yeah. So I mean, I put it in the tag, like, or in the descriptions of the videos. So like, if anybody wants to see it, just go in and click it real quick. But like the licensing and stuff still like confuses me. So I kind of was debating if I should just do that, or for now, since like not a lot of people are gonna be requesting it, I should just like put my email, and then like I can negotiate with people. And then once it's like too many to handle, then be like, okay, let's throw some money at a like professional looking beat store.
Yeah. See, I think you should do the email thing. Like, don't necessarily try to sell them now, because I mean, on
the first one that I put like 6 months ago or 4 months ago, the Gunna, tried to get the first one with the guitar. That's that one I put free, like in bold in the description, so that way like I just put on there like, just give me credit for it, so that way like if people start using it, it's just good exposure.
Right.
So I thought it'd be fun to write down the big names and try to guess where they're gonna go. Yeah. And then you should put a graphic like up on the screen and like make like our predictions. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then like for future reference, we can look back at it. I think that would be dope. Then people can see it. Is that off your camera?
Yeah.
But anyways, so the first one is Kevin Durant, and this one is tricky because I am a Knicks fan, so I'm biased. Very big Knicks fan, actually. And I don't know how to feel about this. It's making me nervous.
Yeah, this is the biggest one of them all.
Yeah, by far. Probably, I would argue it's just as big as LeBron's free agency.
Yeah. I mean, best player in the league.
Yeah.
So it's also hard for me because I'm a Warriors fan. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's just now with the Achilles, I was a lot more certain before he tore his Achilles that he was going to come. And I don't know. I can't put a finger on it. It just doesn't. Like, something just feels off now, because now he's got to sit out a whole entire year. Yeah. But at the same time, the Knicks I think we have one of the best cores in basketball. So we have Dennis Smith Jr., Iso Zoe, Alonzo Trier. I don't know if you heard about him, but he was like a second-round pick or undrafted, and he tore it up last year. Averaged like 18 a game, I think, something like that. And then we've got Kevin Knox, or R.J. Barrett, and Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson, who made the all-rookie second team. He was a 5-star prospect, but he ended up going to Western Kentucky, so people forgot all about him. He was the first prospect, 5-star prospect, to not go to a huge Power 5 school. But I don't know. I just think with another year for that core to grow, and then Kevin Durant step in, and if we were to get Kyrie or somebody to come with us, I think it'd be the showstopper.
Yeah, but I'm like you. There's just something I just don't feel right. I don't think he's going to the Knicks.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to re-sign with the Warriors either, because Andre Iguodala went out there and said that they pressured him to play, knowing what was going on. So surely he's gonna be mad about that.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think the Nets is the most likely destination. As much as I hate to say it, I'm gonna predict the Nets.
That's my guess.
They're the front runner right now, and if you're gonna go to New York, I would want to be the man in Madison Square Garden because I saw a graphic the other day. The Nets were last in total attendance, and they made the playoffs, and the Knicks were like top 5, and we were terrible.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just if you want to be big and you want to go all for it, New York's the place to be, and Madison Square Garden's the mecca. But maybe Kevin Durant doesn't want to be in that big a light. He wants to be in a big city, but not in a big light.
Yeah. But I think the Nets. I think the Nets or that he'll stay. That's my 2 guesses.
You can only pick one. If we're gonna put a graphic up,
okay. If we're gonna
put one,
Nets.
Nets. Okay, I'm going Nets. All right. Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving. What do you got?
In my honest opinion, I don't think he's going to end up with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I know Kevin Durant's like, I want to be on a winning team. I want to play with somebody that's just as good as I am, obviously, because he went to the Warriors and he's won championships with them. But I don't think Kyrie is the same way. I think Kyrie's mentality has changed since he's played with LeBron.
Yeah. I think he's realized that he can't be the man. I think I'm on the opposite stance with you because I think being away from LeBron and being in Boston, he got frustrated because that Boston team was loaded. I predicted them to win the championship before the season started.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't figure it out. And everybody in the locker room came out and said that Kyrie was just a hassle. Like Brad Stevens would say one thing, and then Kyrie would be like, no, I got to get a different game plan.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't. He might just be one of those guys that is so good but can't get out of his own way and can't win it all without a sidekick.
I don't know. I don't know where he'll go, but I don't think it'll be with Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Well, I'm predicting this with Kevin Durant.
I'm gonna say Knicks. I'm gonna say Kyrie's going to the Knicks, and KD will go to the Nets. I don't know.
He's going to end up in LA either. I don't think.
No.
Because now the Lakers are pursuing D'Lo instead.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll lead into him. What do you think about D'Angelo Russell?
Lakers got rid of Lonzo, didn't they?
Yeah. And he point guard.
Yeah. So I think that's where he'll go.
Yeah. Well, I think so too.
Yeah, I think he'll.
Well, no, we disagreed on the last one, but yeah, I think the Lakers as well.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to shape out that way.
Yeah. But I don't think the Lakers will be better with him, though.
Better with him?
Yeah. Better than they were last year. I think they'll be about the same. Just kind of average / terrible.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of where else he could go. And, I mean, if Kyrie goes to the Nets, they're not going to need him.
Yeah.
But he had about the same stats as Kyrie last year.
Yeah.
He can ball. But now that Magic Johnson's gone, so he's the one that traded him, so maybe, it's all good now. But I don't think their styles will match that well either, though, LeBron and D'Lo.
I don't think so. I don't know. I just don't think LeBron's, with other good players, he's as dominant, you know what I mean? Because, him and Kyrie kind of meshed well, but that was it. When he went to Miami, they weren't very good.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about the Lakers, I got a toss-up for you here. I guess we can add this one in. Carmelo Anthony, make a return to the league with the Lakers or not? That was a big story today. Apparently, they're hearing rumors about it.
I don't think Melo's coming back.
I think he is.
I don't think so.
If anybody's going to come back for it, it's going to be LeBron. Because he knows he's got a good chance to win the ship. And if anybody's going to get him back to his old form, it's going to be LeBron.
It's possible. I don't think he's coming back though. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like once you retire, you're just like, okay,
He played 10 games last season.
Yeah.
And he got cut.
I don't know. I feel like he's done. Just needs to, because I don't think he'll ever become what he was.
Oh no, but he could lead a second unit, be the best 6 man in the league. Let's see who else. Oh, Clay. All right, we're gonna make this really easy for you because I'm sure we both agree. We're just gonna say the Warriors. Just move on.
He's staying.
Nobody ain't leaving the Warriors.
But
if you argue that, you probably don't know what you're talking about.
Just clarify, if Clay leaves, I'm following him. Whatever team he goes to, that's...
now, also, to clarify, I'm a Mavs fan second because Luka's awesome. And I told Arden before the draft, I said, Luka is going to be the stud out of this draft.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know. I don't think he's that good. And I said, this dude is incredible.
Yeah.
And, so I called that one. So I've been following him.
He was like top 10, like
top
point...
3. Oh,
like,
wait. Are you talking about stats?
Yeah. It was like top 10 points per game and top 10.
He was like 23, 8, and 7 or something like that as a rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dude, 6'8", his size, that dribbling ability and shooting ability, it's like, there's just...
Yeah.
He's just a slower KD, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, so, and then now they've got Porzingis, so, I liked him in New York. I wish it would have worked out, but I probably wouldn't like playing for James Dolan either, so I can't blame him.
Yeah.
But, anyways, now we got Jimmy Butler. This is a tough one. Have you heard the reports about the Rockets?
I've heard
They're
him.
trying to sign and trade because they don't have enough cap space.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Do you think he's going to sign somewhere else? Because he's going to take meetings. He's an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I don't know. I feel like James Harden and him just won't mesh.
Yeah. Well, he might not necessarily go there. I mean, he can go anywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of a team that would need
I've got a
him.
firm stance on this, but I don't want to influence your decisions. I want to hear what comes out of your mouth.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Pick a team.
Just any team in the league.
Pick the Suns or something.
I don't know. The Thunder?
The Thunder?
Sure.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, there's no way he doesn't come back to Philadelphia. They're not going to let him walk. They were so close to win the title. They lost on a last-second lucky buzzer beater to Kawhi Leonard, and who ended up winning the championship. And they felt like if they could have faced the Bucks, they could have beat them because they've got length. That's the only thing Giannis has on them.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have a squad. So I think Tobias and Butler both are coming back because they're going to make them walk away. They're going to offer them both the biggest contracts they can get and be like, let's run this back one more time.
I could see that. I just hadn't heard any freaking rumors or anything. Like I didn't.
Well, I watch sports stuff all the time.
Yeah, see, I don't.
Kawhi Leonard, what do you think about him?
I think he's staying.
That's a big one. That's probably the biggest one, other than KD. Well, now probably more than KD because KD's hurt, but
I think he's staying.
Yeah.
With Toronto.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Toronto. I don't know. I like LA. I mean, obviously, everybody likes LA more than Toronto, but he just won a title there. He looks like he's having fun. The whole city loves him. Like, I mean, that's a country. There's no other team in Canada. It's like a whole country is behind you.
Yeah.
But
that's why I think like he just won the championship and like MVP. Like he's kind of found a home. If you get what I mean. Like that's.
And everybody's coming back. Marc Gasol exercised his player option this year. So.
Yeah.
And then the last one I threw in there was Malcolm Brogdon and Chris Middleton. They're not no names, but if you don't follow it, you probably don't know who they are. Malcolm Brogdon is a really good point guard. Made all rookie team his first year in the league. He's only like 21, 22. Chris Middleton's like 23, 24, 25, but he's a sharpshooter. And pretty much they both are up for like $20 million contracts, and the max is like $32 million. So it's a good chunk. And you gotta be a pretty good player to make that. I think they're both gonna come back because they're both asking for big deals, and I think the Bucks are gonna give them because who's gonna want to come sign in Milwaukee? I mean, you've got the MVP, but I don't think that's enough to make anybody like, I want to go play in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna go join a star, you might as well just go join a big city with the Nets or with the Lakers.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would want to go to Milwaukee other than to play with Giannis.
But depending on how this free agency turns out, this next season could be really fun. Now that there's no clear-cut favorite and everybody's hurt, this is going to be fun.
I think next year will be interesting. I'm just hoping there's like, don't get me wrong, like I'm a Warriors fan and like I like to see us we're winning all the time, but I also like to see some competition.
Yeah.
Like to be completely honest, like if Clay and KD weren't hurt, it was going to be a blowout in this championship.
Oh yeah.
A blowout.
Yeah.
Like the whole playoffs, we would just kill everybody.
Yeah.
And I want it to have some. I don't want the Lakers to get like Kawhi and D'Lo like a stacked team and it just be no competition.
I like to see everybody's kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Now we got Anthony Davis. I don't even know how that's going to work, but I did think of another one, Kemba Walker. Forgot about him.
Ooh.
I think he probably is going to come to the Knicks. And that's going to be my prediction because I don't think Kyrie's going to come to the Nets. KD still might, or to the Knicks, but KD still might come to the Knicks without him. If he does, Kemba Walker will want to come, and I think they could get along.
I could see that one mission.
Yeah,
Kemba Walker.
Kemba, like, he's good, but he doesn't have the ego where he can be like, yeah, I'll be in your shadow. But, yeah, I mean, I honestly would probably like Kemba a little more than Kyrie. Kyrie's been on the big stage, but he's just such a problem in the locker room. I don't want him.
Yeah.
I think RJ Barrett and Knox and all those guys are going to be really good, and I don't want them, like, infesting their minds with negativity.
Yeah. I could see.
I'm excited for.
Yeah. It'd be really, really cool to see, like, Kemba with KD, Kevin Knox, and RJ Barrett, of course, is going. That'd be a pretty good squad.
Well, I guess that's a good point to stop. Check out my channel. It's called Brandon Made This Beat because I'm Brandon. I made this beat.
He loves that. He loves the line.
It's true. It's don't overcomplicate it. But yeah, check it out. I got 4 beats up there right now. Been posting them about twice a week right now. I sit down, I make one, I make a video on it. It takes me a few hours. I can get them done. I can make it pretty fast now. But yeah, check that out. Go subscribe, leave some comments, share it to all your freestyling friends. And thank you for watching. Do you have anything to add?
No. Remember, I'm gonna when I tweet this video out, I'm gonna say 50,000 views. We release the song.
Do you still have it?
It's on my computer.
50,000 views. I'll let them release my song.
Yeah, it's on the hard drive. So.
Oh, dude, that'd be a banger.
Actually, not 50,000. We'll go with 50,000 likes.
Oh, 50,000.
50,000 likes, not views.
50,000 likes.
Because if you say like.
I'll tell you all over the bar. Let's just go 10,000 likes.
Okay.
If you get 10,000 likes, fuck it.
10,000 likes, we'll release the song. We will release it.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna.
If it gives you the publicity for 3 minutes, I don't care. People can hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet when I tweet out the podcast. I'm gonna say first thing I'm saying.
10,000 likes, unreleased song by Brandon Miller.
Yep. Not a beat, a song.
Yeah. That's great. Oh, I can hear it right now. Hey, not gonna lie, low key, it's got bars. It's just very shitty quality.
It's bad.
Yeah, it was like I don't even remember what I recorded on. It was a tiny microphone.
Yeah.
And I was literally just like this, trying to like be in it, like cupping my hands around it so I could like talk into it. And I didn't know what I was doing. This was like 2 years ago.
Just picture you have the tin can with a string in the middle.
Yeah.
Imagine him on one side and the microphone on the other side, and he's speaking through the can. That's what it sounds like.
If it was good quality, it'd been bars. But, you know, it happens. Like that. But thank you for watching. We're out. Sayonara.